Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me again. This is a Roaming Prepper channel. If you're new to the channel, I'm the host, Pete, and I try to cover preparedness and current events and a few other things just to keep people in the know so you know how you should or should not try to prepare for an emergency. And remember, an SHTF does not have to be the zombie apocalypse. You could lose your job, have a car accident, and that becomes a personal SHTF right there. So always keep that in the back of your mind. Anything you buy or get, ask yourself, can I use this for a personal incident? Like a house fire, God forbid, or a car wreck. These are the ways we should think of things. But anyway, I digress. Today's topic is eating their own. And you're probably wondering, well, what the hell does that mean, eating their own? As you well have probably heard by now, a Minnesota politician who had been appointed by Governor Tim Walz, who, as you know, ran with Kamala Harris as her vice presidential candidate. This individual, not Walz, the guy he had appointed to one of his offices, and I can't remember where, because he disagreed with the votes of another state representative and a state senator, and the state rep was actually Speaker of the House for that state, he dressed as a cop, went to their house and shot her and her husband, then went to the other house and shot two more people but didn't kill them because a commotion broke out and he got spooked. He then had a gunfight as he was trying to leave the residence because I guess the cops were already looking for him. And he fled the scene. It took about 2 or 3 days and they finally found the guy. He was a Democratic political hack, if you will. He was an appointee by Governor Walz, and I don't remember exactly what office he was appointed to. Among the reasons, he had a whole manifesto and a list of about 60 to 70 people that he intended to target. Because, and in this case, he shot the Speaker of the House and a few other, he wanted to kill a few people because they did not vote to give medical and unemployment benefits to illegal aliens, not legal ones. Because if you're here illegally, then you fall under different protections and whatnot. Illegal aliens. And as a result, he lost his biscuits, and instead of going to the news and saying, oh, these people are assholes, he went and shot and killed 2 of them. The senator who was killed had 2 teenage kids. They were younger adults. I believe they were teenagers or young adults. But, you know, there's a family left behind. So now, this guy's family is going to be ruined because he's going to go to jail for a very long time. Because it was violence with a political motive, because he was trying to change the way the votes were going. It very well could be construed as terrorism if you take the classical definition of terrorism as violence to achieve a political end. Well, that's exactly what he did, like in a nutshell. Regardless of his mental state or why he did this, he dressed like a cop, he put on a tactical vest, the whole 9 yards, knocked on the door, presented as a cop, and then shot them as they came to the door. Basically, they're eating their own. The leftists no longer want to engage, not only the right or the conservatives, but even the people in the middle, people who are like, hey, look, I'm a Democrat, you're a Republican, let's sit down and see if we can find some middle ground where everyone gets something, but nobody gets everything, right? That's the way the Republic should work. You never always get what you want. You kind of have to compromise in the middle, and it keeps the boat kind of even keel, if you will. This person didn't like that, so he went out and shot people. His family is going to be ruined because his criminal defense is going to bankrupt his family, unless he claims he doesn't have the money, which may or may not fly. The family of the Speaker of the House, they just lost 2 people in a very bad way. It wasn't, oh, it was an accident, it was cancer, you know, nothing you can do. There's an asshole. On the flip side, the other 2 who got shot also, they're in a recovery now because they've been badly injured. According to the wife of the second person, who was a senator, not a House of Representatives person, the senator was shot 7 to 9 times. Or shot at. I don't know how many hit. So clearly he's got a long road to recover. You don't recover from 9 bullet wounds very quickly. For what? Because the vote didn't go your way. You could go to the news, you can go to the courts, you can go and have a vote to repeal the first vote. As things decay in our society and in the world in general, you got the war in Ukraine, you got the war in Israel, now Israel and Iran are at it directly. No more proxies, they're in a straight up shooting war. All these other things going on, we're still, the inflation's going down, which is good, prices are coming down, which is good, but we're not there yet. It's still hard times, still economic difficulties. People are going to start to snap. There's some conjecture that maybe it was the, how does the Angry Prepper call it? The arm ticket or the arm candy? I don't remember what he calls it. If that did something to people, if that made people nuts, because that's the first time we've done a mass use of a medicine that not don't immunized you, but went directly to affect your DNA. This is the first time we've done it at a massive scale. We don't know what it does. People are having heart attacks. People are losing their biscuits. We don't know why. It could be social media. We could point our fingers to a dozen different things. One thing you need to be aware of is be alert to your surroundings. Now, there are a couple of tips you can take away from this tragedy. One, if police knock on your door and they're not in uniform, do not open the damn door. I don't care if they say they're Santa Claus. Call 911 or call the local police dispatch and ask them, hey, I have 2 people at this address stating they are law enforcement and they want to talk. Are those your people? Even if they're wearing uniform, even if they have a badge means nothing. I can go on fucking Amazon and get a badge. I can go to El Paso and get a fake badge. I can go to Mexico and get a fake badge, right? And at a glance, I mean, it can say, you know, Chupacabra police. At a glance, you won't see the details, right? It's like, here's my ID, and you show this little badge, and you're like, oh, he has a badge, I'll open the door. And it's a lie. But the guy was even dressed tactically, like he had a blue uniform and everything. Like he was dressed, according to the sources, like a cop. One, cops should always be in pairs if they come to your door. 2, you do have a legal right in pretty much every state of the union and in Canada to say, hold on just a second, I'm going to call 911 or dispatch and verify you are who you are. Please give me your names. By law, they have to typically give you their names. I am Officer Sanchez, I'm Officer Jones, I'm Officer Smith, whatever. Then you call dispatch and say, hey, I have a guy says he's Officer Smith at my address. This is the address. Is this guy legit? If so, okay, great. Then it's your prerogative. Do you want to open the door and talk to them? You want to tell them, come back and make an appointment? I want my lawyer. However you want to handle it. Don't just open the door because some rando says, oh, I'm a cop. I could say I'm a cop. I could say I'm Santa Claus. Don't do it. 1. 2, watch for changes in people. I had the benefit of going to a mass or active shooter training that was given by the FBI and Houston Police when I was down there, when I was still in the Guard. And one of the things that kind of hammered into us during this, you know, it was like an 8-hour seminar. So it was not like, oh, here's active shooters, go home. No, it was a whole freaking day. 1, they tend to be suicidal. 2, before they go active shooter, they tend to give things away. 3, although traditionally it has been white male, the reality is it has evolved. It's now females, it's now trans, it's now black. There is no specific ethnicity. It's starting to morph into a societal problem, not a cultural or ethnic problem. So those old stats no longer valid, but do look for things like recent trauma, recent financial issues, recent addiction or problems with drugs, recent job loss. Also look at people talking in a suicidal manner, giving away important things to their friends as if they're, you know, the way a cancer patient knows they're going to pass away, they're giving away things to the people they love. You may see that kind of behavior. Look for those signs in people, because that's a kind of a precursor to them doing something else. And remember, most of these active shooters are suicidal. They don't care if they live or die. The fact they caught this guy alive actually shocked the shit out of me. Because they put a hole through the guy who shot at Trump in Pennsylvania, but they caught the guy who was at Mar-a-Lago. So you're starting to see some of them are getting caught because the cops are approaching it a little differently, which is good, because once you catch them, then you can interrogate and find out what the hell they did that for. So look, folks, people are eating their own, especially in this leftist mentality. And I'm not talking liberal. There is a difference between a liberal and a leftist. The same way there's a difference between a conservative and a Nazi, right? You can be conservative and not a Nazi. You can be a liberal, right? And you want to discuss some progressive ideas and all that stuff and not be a leftist psycho. They are different. And we need to understand that these people are the fringe and not let them dictate the dialogue between the rest of us who are trying to make the society work in some way, shape, or form. But in any case, remember, cops need to show ID. They do have to give their name if they're at your door. You do not have to let them in, because if they had a warrant, they'd kick the door in anyway. And you are allowed to tell them, I'll be right with you. I'm going to call dispatch to verify you are who you are. And I don't care if it's in the middle of the day or 2 in the morning. Don't open the door to people until you vet them. This may well have saved their life had they been a little more suspicious and said, you know what? That's sus. I'm going to call 911 and verify that this guy is indeed a cop. With everything going on in the world, we may start seeing more of this insanity. It's important for you to maintain your situational awareness, be aware of your coworkers, people in your circle, people who normally circulate around you doing their own thing, and just stay frosty, be smart, don't panic, observe, and then assess. And you may have to do it quick if it's an emergency, but observe and assess. Panic, hiding under your bed, hiding in the closet, being afraid to go out solves nothing. Live your life, but live it smart and live it alert. Again, there's a difference between vigilance and paranoia. You guys be good, be safe out there. I will see you on my next video. And thanks for allowing me to rant a little bit. But this is an important lesson for all of us. Not everyone who seems to be trusted can be trusted. You guys take care.